Good evening. This is the January 9th, 2025 reorganizational meeting of the Portsmouth Public School Board. So we'll start off by a quick moment of silence, followed by the pledge. And if Dr. Cotton isn't available, maybe we'll ask Ms. Shoemaker to do that for us. We'll take a moment of silence. Please rise. Thank you. Ms. Shoemaker.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, agenda item 2.4. Ms. Futrell, would you read that for us?
I sure can.
Thank you.
The mission of the Portsmouth Public School Division is to engage all students in learning that will foster academic excellence and responsible citizenship.
Agenda 2.5, attendance. I'll take the roll. Ms. Atkinson.
Here.
Ms. Boone.
Here.
Dr. Cotton. Ms. Futrell.
Here.
Ms. McSwain.
Here.
Ms. Sessoms.
Here.
Ms. Shoemake.
Present.
Dr. Walker.
Here.
Dr. Patillo. We have 8 members present and 1 member absent. Next agenda item will be consideration of the agenda for January 9, 2025. Do we have a motion?
For approval.
Second.
Ms. Boone, motion. Ms. Shoemake, second. Any discussion? I'll take the roll call vote. Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Boone?
Yes.
Ms. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms? Ms. Shoemake?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
8-0.
Can I ask a question for you?
Yes.
To you, Mr. Chair. Do you all have a paper copy of the agenda already?
I do. Of the agenda.
Just take mine.
This one.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you can follow along. That's all. All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, moving on to agenda 3.1, designation of the presiding officer until election of the chair. For those new members, typically what occurs at this meeting is the bylaws provide that the school board council runs the meeting until there is a chair elected, which will be the next agenda item. But we do typically go through the formality of having the school board vote and approve that. So I would ask for a motion on 3.1, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Shoemake and seconded by Ms. Futrell. Any discussion? It'd be designation of a providing officer would be the school board attorney. Was your motion, Ms.
Yes.
Shoemake? Thank you. All right, roll call vote. Ms. Atkinson.
Yes.
Ms. Boone.
Yes.
Ms. Futrell.
Yes.
Ms. McSwain.
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms.
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake.
Yes.
Dr. Walker.
Yes.
Dr. Patillo.
Yes.
All right, it's 8-0. Agenda item 3.2 would be the election of the chair of the school board. Again, for those new members, typically the way we do this is I'll open it up for nominations. You may nominate anyone on the school board you wish. After the nominations period closes, even if we only have 1 member nominated, we will still go through and do a roll call vote. And so we'll start nominations and see where we are after that. So I'll solicit nominations just by a raise of a hand, and then I'll call on that person. So does anybody have a nomination for chair? We should.
I nominate Dr. Cardell Patillo.
We have Dr. Cardell Patillo nominated. You don't need to renominate or second. Are there any other nominations for chair? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the vote. And I have a motion, please, on the election of chair of the school board, the only nominee being Dr. Cardell Patillo, please.
For approval.
That's Ms. Boone. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Futrell, second. Any discussion? All right, I'll do the roll call vote. Ms. Atkins.
Yes.
Ms. Boone.
Yes.
Ms. Futrell.
Yes.
Ms. McSwain.
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms.
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake.
Yes.
Dr. Walker.
Yes.
Dr. Patillo.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you, sir. Always an amazing job. We'll move on to agenda item 3.3, which is the election of the vice chair of the school board. Now we'll open the floor for nominations at this time. Ms. Shoemake.
I nominate Ms. Lakeisha Clue Atkinson.
We do have Ms. Atkinson as a nomination. Do we have any other nominees? Seeing none, I'll now call for a motion for the election of Ms. Lakeisha Atkinson as vice chair of the school board.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Shoemake, second by Ms. Futrell. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote. Madam Clerk. I'm sorry. Yeah, Madam Clerk. Oh, wait a minute. I'll do roll call.
Yes. We don't have a Madam Clerk yet, sir. My God. Get focused, Chair. Did we pick the right chair, Lord?
Ms. Atkinson.
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake. Yes. Ms. Boone.
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms.
Yes.
Dr. Walker.
Yes.
Ms. Futrell.
Yes.
Ms. McSwain.
Yes.
6-0. Congratulations, Ms. Atkinson.
Thank you.
You want
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we need one? No other vote? It won't need one. You know, that's rude. Yeah, we good. All right. Agenda item 3.4 is the election of the school board clerk. I will entertain a motion for school board clerk at this time. Ms. Vice Chair Atkinson.
I would like to nominate Kathy Chambers.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other nominations for school board clerk? Seeing none, we'll close the motion on the name of Kathy Chambers. A motion to elect her as school board clerk.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Boone, second by Ms. Futrell. Same discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote will be Ms. Atkinson. Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake?
Yes.
Ms. Boone?
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Ms. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to Ms. Chambers. Agenda item 3.5, the election of the deputy clerk of the school board. I will entertain a motion at this time, well, a nomination at this time. Vice Chair Atkinson.
I would like to nominate Ms. Brenda Stewart for deputy clerk.
You have the name of Brenda Stewart. Any other names to be submitted? Seeing none, I entertain a motion at this time.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion made by Ms. Boone, second by Ms. Shoemake. Is there any discussion? We will now close the nomination. Congratulations to Ms. Stewart.
Okay. I see.
We now gonna put her to work.
Yes.
What statute you said?
Oh, by statutory. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that'd be a lesson.
We'll do a vote
I mean, it
for.
can technically be appointed by the vice chair, but I think our bylaws said.
Oh, okay. So we'll do a vote on the name of Ms. Stewart. Vice Chair Atkinson.
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake.
Yes.
Ms. Boone.
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms.
Yes.
Dr. Walker.
Yes.
Ms. Futrell.
Yes.
Ms. McSwain.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Agenda item 3.6. Just want to restate for those who may not have gone through this before. This is for superintendent's authority. This will give the superintendent the authority to reassign, assign principals, teachers, and staff throughout the school years. That authority has to be given by the school board every year in order for that to happen. So I will entertain a motion at this time for superintendent's authority.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion
with it.
made. And a second made by Ms. I give Ms. Boone.
That works.
Discussion. Seeing none, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone? Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Ms. Sessa?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again, sir, for being in charge.
My God, yes.
3.7 is the agent and deputy agent. This will be the person in charge to handle our fiscal concerns for the school division. And we do have the name of the agent as Mr. Theodore Falk, our current CFO, and the deputy agent will be Dr. Bracy. So I entertain a motion at this time.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Boone, second by Ms. Futrell. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone? Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Agenda item 3.8 is the appointment of the superintendent's designee. That is in the absence of Dr. Bracy. This person will be in charge to handle the day-to-day responsibilities of the school division in his absence. And the person for that is Mr. Falk, our current CFO. Entertain a motion at this time.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Boone, second by Ms. Futrell. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone?
Yes.
Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Mrs. McSwain?
Yes.
Mrs. Sessom?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemake? Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. I do want to hand these out so we can have these in front while we look at them. The first sheet is going to be the committee assignments from last year, so you all can see where we were last year. And the second sheet will be the current committee sheet. The special committees are appointed by the chair, but the board and commission assignments, we have to vote on those. So I haven't had any recommendations I have for those, but of course, we can change the board and commission appointments if you so choose. I wanted to have those side by side so you can see. And just for those also who are new board members, when we do committee assignments, I try to, for the special committees that are appointed by the chair, I try to do those based upon your needs I hear that you want to see happen in the school division, also based on your skill set as well. All right, we'll go by those. So we'll do the first, the agenda item 3.9 is the election of a delegate and alternate for the annual convention. Last year, Ms. Boone was the delegate, so I kept that with Ms. Boone. Of course, that can always change if you all so choose. And Ms. Hines, who's no longer here, was the alternate. I had Ms. Sessoms as the alternate for the VSBA convention delegates. But of course, we'll entertain a motion on any name you have also at this time. Vice Chair.
Okay, so with your recommendations, I just moved to have Miss Irene Boone as the delegate and Miss Leticia Sessoms as the alternate.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Shoemate. Any discussion?
Which one is that?
Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton?
Yes.
Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemate?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. I should have said before that the VSB convention delegates, they are actually responsible for attending the convention, which we would normally all do, but they're responsible for showing up for the delegate assembly meeting and casting the votes on behalf of my school. So you have to be at the meeting. So, but you already knew it already. You are a delegate this year, but
Leticia is confused.
I nominated you as the alternate.
Oh, okay.
right.
Okay.
She was perplexed.
Agenda item 3.10 is the election of a director and alternate for the governor's school. Last year, I've been a director for the last probably 6 years on the governor's school. So I thought it was time for me to come off. And Dr. Walker, she's actually very much into curriculum and instruction on a daily basis. So I wanted to recommend her for that position as director and remain Ms. Futrell as the alternate. And just to explain the next one as well, the CSEP board meets the same day, 1 hour after the governor's school in the same location. So normally we just swap the delegate and alternates there for that. I just so I can explain that. But I will entertain a motion if you would accept that appointment at this time.
Are y'all good with that?
And
Oh,
do I
okay.
need to put a
Governor's
motion if
school.
they're accepted? I still
Yeah.
need to do that.
Yes. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I move to nominate Dr. Jacqueline Walker for the Governor's School Director and Ms. Futrell as the alternate.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Neil Futrell.
Second from Ms. Shoemate. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton?
Yes.
Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Ms. Sessom?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemate?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Agenda item 3.11 is the election of a representative and an alternate for WHRO Governing Board of Directors. Last year, Dr. Cotton was the rep and Ms. Atkinson was the alternate. After consulting with the vice chair, she agreed to remain as the alternate and have Dr. Walker represent as the rep for WHRO. I entertain a motion at this time. We're in agreement.
Oh, I nominate for Dr. Jacqueline Walker to be the representative and Lakeisha Atkinson to be the alternate.
Okay. We have a motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
Dr. Walker? There you go. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton?
Yes.
Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Mrs. McSwain?
Yes.
Mrs. Sessom?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemake?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Agenda item 3.12 is a representative and an alternate for the CSEP, which is the Southeastern Cooperative Educational Programs Board. Last year, Ms. Futrell did a great job as the representative, attending the meetings, and I will ask Dr. Walker, being that she's the director for the governor's school, to be the alternate, and she's already going to be there. I entertain a motion at this time.
I
Vice Chair.
move to nominate Mrs. Cornelia Futrell, future doctor.
It's coming.
Yes, manifesting it, and Dr. Jacqueline Walter as the alternate for CSEP.
All right, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Futrell. Any discussion?
What's coming?
Seeing none, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton? Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Mrs. McSwain?
Yes.
Mrs. Sessom?
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemake?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you. The 3.13 is election of a representative for Access College Foundation. Vice Chair has been an advocate for the Access Foundation for the past few years.
Sure
I would like for her to remain as the delegate and Ms. Sessoms to be the alternate. I entertain a motion at this time. Ms. Shoemaker.
I nominate Lakeisha Atkinson for delegate and Leticia Sessoms for alternate.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Ms. Futrell, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton?
Yes.
Mrs. Futrell?
Yes.
Mrs. McSwain?
Yes.
Ms. Sessom?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemake?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Dr. Patillo?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Just for discussion for the subcommittee assignments, I start, like I said, with CTE. Miss Thomas was our representative on CTE, but I know Miss McSwain, she was very advocate about her advocacy for CTE during her campaign this year. So I would like for her to be the other advisory member board for CTE, along with Tamara Shoemake remaining there as well. That meeting happens, I believe, once a month. Once a month. It's normally held here in this building, but we
CTE?
CTE, right? No, CTE is normally at
No, is it Manor?
Manor High School. Okay. So, but we will be talking more about that committee at our next meeting as well, and how we plan to further utilize that committee to a greater capacity that's been happening with it. The Committee for Equity and Inclusion, we really has been dormant, and I really want to ensure that we're doing our just due with that committee, ensuring that all students have what they need to be successful in the school division. And I'm asking again, I know Ms. McSwain, you mentioned that often during your campaign as well, and Vice Chair Atkinson, she's quite vocal about that as well, and I recommended them for that committee, for that. The SEAC committee, I was talking with other board chairs and other school divisions. We've never had board representation on the SEAC committee. All of the school divisions do. I'm not sure why it was never the case, but with a lot of the parental concerns and with special ed that have come across the city and the state, it's important that we do have board representation up there to ensure that we are supporting that cause. And for those representatives, it would be Ms. Sessoms for that, and Dr. Walker has been very, very vocal about special education during her campaign as well. So I thought it'd be great to put you both two together for that.
Good deal.
Gifted Advisory Board. The board has expressed concerns about ensuring that we have a full gifted program within the division. And so we'll have Ms. Vice Chair Atkinson and Dr. Cotton representing the board on the gifted committee. Dr. Cotton actually has a son who's in the gifted program as well. And he was gifted growing up, but I think he lost it somewhere along the way. But I'm gonna give him this chance to just make it. He will be serving. He will be serving on the board with Vice Chair Atkinson.
That is true.
That's cold.
We're also gonna sign a new discipline committee. Not like what we talked about before. This won't be focused on just discipline policy and also alternatives with discipline and things of that sort. So myself and Ms. Boone will serve on that committee. Budget and Finance, Ms. Thomas was serving on that committee. She's no longer here, so Ms. Boone, with her financial job she does every single day for the base, at the base, I feel she'd be a good fit to serve on finance alongside me there. City Council liaisons, normally it was always the chair was always on the committee. I changed that when I became chair because I wanted to give others a chance to actually be that voice for us during those meetings. Ms. Hines is no longer here. I just feel for this year, during this season, it's just best for me to be in that room for the City Council liaison meetings when they happen. And of course, I update you every month that we have them. And if I feel like everything is going smoothly and the partnership is there, I have no problem rotating off and put someone else back on for that. But that's my reason for putting myself back on that committee.
Or
this
did you
year.
want to make sure I behave?
That's part of it too.
Both.
You know,
Both.
You know.
That's what's up.
Corporate sponsorships have also been kind of dormant. We really haven't done anything with that since we signed the Under Armour contract years ago, but I do want to start exploring opportunities for more corporate opportunities for the school division and how it can help enhance particularly our sports program, athletic programs, band and things of that sort as well to take the burden off of parents more as well. Curriculum and instruction was pretty much a no-brainer for me for that one. Dr. Walker, you doing curriculum instruction every day. So you're a former SPED teacher as well and specialist, so very knowledgeable there. And Ms. Sessoms, you expressed great interest in curriculum and instruction during your campaign as well. So we have that. Human resources remain the same, I believe. Same members there. Legislative policy, Ms. Futrell is still there. And Ms. Sessoms is there. You expressed a great interest in mental health policy while on your campaign as well. So I'm hoping that you all can come together and maybe put some things together for our packet, our legislative packet that we want to put together for next year, our legislative packet that we want to put together for next year. A legislative packet with all of our needs.
It's
that we wanna put
already in
together for
process.
next year.
It's in a
All right.
draft. It's in a draft folder.
Minority contracted business policy. Vice Chair Axon has been there for years and does a great job with that. Dr. Cotton, who's also a business owner, will be, I think, be a perfect fit to join her on that committee. For that committee, and technology operations remain the same, Dr. Cotton and myself for that. Do you have any questions or discussion in reference to that? All right. We will now move to agenda item 3.15, which is the agenda review for January 23rd, 2025. All this is, you get to review the agenda, but you don't have to do it now. Anytime you want to add anything to the agenda, just contact myself or Dr. Bracy to add items to the agenda. It's that simple. It doesn't take a majority vote or a majority membership. If you have an item you want to add, just call and we'll have to add it to the agenda. Anytime between now and the next meeting. We like to do it at least a week before the next meeting so we can get it in board docs and get the staff time to update the agenda and board docs as well. Vice Chair.
And I just want to say to the new board members, your first official meeting, I see a disciplinary case. So generally that information is going to be in board docs, so you'll have a time to review the case prior to. So definitely do that. It's generally like 50 pages. So you'll see that in board docs. But for your first meeting, you have a case.
And it'll be in there enough time for you to review it. And it's going to be under executive content, which I'll actually show you tomorrow during training how to access that and what it looks like and all that as well. But that's good catch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now I'm going to move to agenda item 4.1. I want to ask if our vice chair could take us into a 2-minute closed session and the personnel, and we'll only need Dr. Bracy to remain as well from the staff. Well, I'll let you tell your staff what to do, but
They was about to be out. I move that the board enter into a closed meeting under the provisions of section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia for the following purpose: consideration of personnel matters, including the assignment, performance, and resignation of specific school employees as permitted under subsection A.1.
Second by Ms. Boone. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemate?
Yes.
Ms. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton?
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Ms. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
Thanks so much. We now enter into closed meeting.
5:55.
All right, we do have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Boone. Any discussion? Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Shoemate?
Yes.
Ms. Boone?
Yes.
Dr. Cotton?
Yes.
Ms. Sessoms?
Yes.
Dr. Walker?
Yes.
Ms. Futrell?
Yes.
Ms. McSwain?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. That's 9-0 at 5:59.
Good job, Chair.
All right, so I guess we all about to hit the road and head to Charlottesville. Everybody good getting there?
I'm going up in the morning.
Okay, all right.